This is another video showing the tree abatement program that follows the International Society of Arboricultural Tree Risk Assessment. Alright, so look at it's a pretty simple database. You get some conservation authorities. Here's Andrew O'Neill Woods, and they have 3 types of inspections, and some inspections have taken place. I'm going to go to John R. Park Homestead. They have a few more scheduled inspections per year, and they've done a few. The first 3 that they did on November 2nd was the parking lot, the structures, and the trails, and there was no hazards found. And then they were having a special event in February, and they did another one, and they found some hazards. So let's take a look at that one. So there's 3 trees involved, and so this very top part's the header. This is the visit, but underneath here, starting at this spot, is the tree. Okay, so I can scroll through the 3 trees. Second tree was maple silver. Third tree was a hackberry. If you notice, these numbers change, giving the location of each tree. Let's go back to the first tree. So everything in light green is important in the sense that it shows up on the report. If it's not in light green, you can keep track of it here, but it doesn't show up on the report. Okay. So this particular tree, the maple silver, has a DBH of 65, which I don't know what that means. And tree form options, that's crown class, etc. If it's a dead tree, you could check that off. Or I'll say it's a dead tree. I'll just change this. This is my own data. And then down here, the target's highlighted, so this also affects the report. Okay, so then let's talk about the defects. This is things we can keep track of, but really it's a hazard rating. So the failure potential is medium. The size of the part is less than 6 inches. And there's occasional use around the tree. So adding that up, you get a hazard of 4. Okay, and here's the hazard rating up here. So if you change this, you say, oh, this is intermittent use, then that changes the hazard rating to 5. Okay, the abatement, let's say we're going to, move the target. The target would be what's underneath it. Let's say we're going to remove the tree. And then the tree note. Okay, I'm going to clear this. And I'm going to clear this. And I'm going to generate the tree note. So it gives you some information from the header of the tree. Tells you what the target was that came from the target here. This a little converting the information about the hazard into some sentences here. Failure potential is medium. The size of the part is less than 6 inches. This results in overall hazard rating of 5. And these are our options. We could prune, remove, or we could continue to monitor. Okay, let's look at the next tree. It was also silver maple, a different location, and some different information on each of these screens. And I guess his choice was to remove defective part. So we look at the text, prune to remove defective part. This second option is always there. Do no abatement, continue to monitor tree. That's the way they want it. That could be taken out if you don't like that. And then finally the third tree, immediate action needed. It's a hackberry. And what's so bad about this tree? It's got some dead limbs, and there's some occasional use around it. And here's the pruning options. So I'll clear that, generate it again. Okay, so now each of these trees has its own generated text. So when you want to do a report, you click on Hazard Report, but you got to make sure that you've done this for all the different trees. Now it generates the text for the hazard report, but also opens up Word, and it generates the hazard report. I've got the Lakehead region. You can ignore that. You can have anything you want there. And then I think this is kind of hard coded. Oops. This gets inserted. These first line you could change, and then the date of the assessment and where it was, and then this is the overall visit here, and all this is the overall visit, and then the tree one, what it is, and all that text that was generated, then tree 2, and then tree 3, tree 4. We put it into Word so that we can they take photos of the tree and they cut and paste it and include it in this document. Okay, hopefully that made more sense to you than it makes to me. Just doing what I'm told here, but if you like that, contact me.